Hi everyone, we're back with another card tutorial. Thank you for taking the class. Your card will look something like this when we're done. Maybe not completely because it depends on your color choices. So let me put this to the side. One lucky person is going to get their flowers pre-colored in their kit because I don't have extra flowers to color and I want to show you just how I color them. They're super easy to color and I don't do them in any kind of, I would say, correct way, if there is a right way. So your card kit comes with, let me take the rest of it out. You've got 3 flowers. And the paper is thicker because it's Heartfelt Creations flower shaper paper. So it's great for taking color and shaping flowers. So you've got that. You've got a cross in there. You have a blue sheet. You may not have this extra sheet because we've pre-cut the crosses for you for mailing. And then you've got an embossed sheet. So this simple card is going to go very easy. So you've got your card. Make sure that it opens to the correct way. You're going to put your blue. You're going to put your emboss. I'm not actually going to glue them. I'm going to save this kit for someone else, but you've got that. And again, if you have this extra white piece, it is for the cross and it was just left in there by accident. But if you don't have it, that's okay because it's supposed to cut the cross. But since we don't assume that you have that cross die, we cut it for you. All right, so let's first get to coloring. You can use whatever inks and whatever colors you have in your stash. I am going to use what we did in class, which is Distress Oxide inks. I use Spun Sugar. I used Salvage Patina. And I used Dried Marigold. For the leaves, what I grabbed today was Shabby Shutters. Mowed Lawn is my typical go-to for leaves when it comes to Distress Oxide, but I like the Shabby Shutters too. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is the cross, which is why I have this plastic now. You see can you see I have blue all over my fingers already? Alrighty, so I like to start in the middle. I know some people don't, but I do. I like blending brushes. You can use like the Ranger foam stumps or the blending tools. If you don't have any of those, the ones with the sponges, not the felt, those are for the alcohol inks. But if you don't have any of the Ranger sponges or the tool and you need that, you can contact Christina and you can add that to your next order. If you have brushes or if you have daubers or anything at home, that'll work just fine. So I'm just gonna lightly blend, and again, I'm on a tablecloth, a plastic tablecloth, a cheap little thing, because I know it's gonna get messy because, you know, the cross has holes in it, right? So I'm just gonna go in a circular motion. And then I'm gonna go up top. Now I tend to prefer the pink. I tend to prefer the pink, so I only have a little bit on top. And you know, when you're doing this, there's no wrong way to do this. You wanna go off a little bit first, just to get that bulk off so you don't have like a big blob of ink there. Make sure that you blend over the two. If you wanna go back over where that blend line is with your last color, go ahead. But again, we're not blending things here, you know, for Guinness. We're just blending them for a pretty card. And then I'm going to, and I know that I don't have a lot of ink in this, so, but normally I would go up from the bottom. So you're just gonna hang on to this. You are gonna get inky and messy, but is it crafting if you don't have ink on you? I don't think it is. And then I'm just gonna go back over with the blue. And I don't have to re-ink it because the oxides leave so much left, even when you just do it a little bit. There's your cross. I would wait to glue it on, but you're going to glue it higher up a little bit because you still have your flowers. So you're going to take your flowers. Let's start with our leaves. That's easier because we know that they're going to be green, right? So let me take my green. All right. And I'm just gonna go like this. And again, the Distress Oxide, you know, leaves a little bit of a opaque, chalky-ish kind of finish to it. If you like more translucent and you have regular Distress inks, use those. Memento works great on this. Use whatever you have. Okay, so I have my leaves done enough for me. They don't have to be perfect. Nothing in nature is perfect, so they don't have to be perfect. Now I'm going to color my flowers. I know for me, I want the one in the middle to be different from the other two. I want that close. So, you know what? I'm going to start with these. And I'm going to use the dried marigold. I'm going to do the two smaller ones in the dried marigold. And as you see, I'm just swiping. Because again, it's on a card. It's a little different for a scrapbook page because you expect people to stop and linger and look at all of the elements. And while that's true on a card too, it's not going to be as true. So let me make sure I'm not mixing up my brushes here. All right, I'm going to use pink on my big one. And you see again, this time I'm going to go in circles. Oh, well, that's a little orangey, but that's okay. Move that off camera. All right, now for flower shaping. So for this, you will need the flower shaping mat and tools. If you don't have them, be sure that you contact Christina and add them to your order. You need the mat and the tools. They are sold separately. If you do a lot of heartfelt creation stuff like I do, then you already have them. Flower shaping, super easy. Take your flowers and leaves, put them ink side down. You can't just use any foam or rubber mat for this. Believe me, I've tried after everybody said, no, you can't. But, you know, we always think we can. No, you really can. It really does not work as well or at all, depending. So, put the ink face down. Ooh, take your water bottle sprayer mister. Hold it about a foot over, about 12 inches. Make sure that the nozzle's facing down. I'm famous for that. Spray once. That's it. That's all you need. I know it doesn't look like a lot, but that's all you need. So for your flowers, all I'm really going to do, because this is going to go in an envelope and it's going to get smushed, I'm just going to press with the bigger side of my stylus. If you have the whole set, like which one should you use? Whichever one you think. There's no wrong answer for this. When in doubt, I tend to go with medium. With the flowers, again, just like the leaves, I'm not really shaping them like I would for something else. I'm just pressing in the middle of the leaves. Maybe twice in the bigger one, you know, like top and bottom. And then as I did with the leaves, I'm going to turn them over. I'm going to press down in the middle. And that's going to give me a little bit of dimension. I don't want too much because I don't want it to cost an arm and a leg to mail my card. So at that point then, I would take my card. I would decide where my flowers look the best. My flowers go in the center. And if that's the way I like it, great. So what I would do is I would put some of the dry as clear glue, not much, just a little bit in there, offset my petals on the leaf, and then with this tiny end of the stylus, I would just push down for a minute just to make it hold. And I would do the same for each of these. A little bit of glue, offset the petals, hold it down, a little bit of glue, offset the petals, put it down. And once that's dry, which shouldn't take very long at all, I would flip it over, and now you've got a nice little bump here to put a puddle of glue on, because these would be attached, remember. At this point, attach your cross. Put your glue around. You don't need a whole lot, remember, just in strategic points. And if it seeps out, don't worry, it's going to dry clear. Okay? And again, I'm not gluing anything here. I don't want to waste a sample kit. So then you put them where you want them. Again, this would be attached. Put your glue. And because it's liquid adhesive, you can move it around a little bit to place it where you like it. Same thing, glue, put it down, pop it under. Maybe you want to pop it under there like this. And when you're done, just leave it sit. And then come back in a little bit after it's had time to be, you know, tacky enough to stay put. A little drop of glue and grab your, I call it my gem picker-upper thingy. I have a white pencil for it, it needs to be sharpened. I have a white pencil for it. There are other gem picker-uppers. Cricut's got them. They're all a whole bunch of them. This is a tool. It's a must in my craft room. I work with a lot of pearls and a lot of rhinestones, so I have to. So you would sharpen it, pick up the one pearl, pop it on in to the center. If you preferred stickles, you can do that. You want to use Wink of Stella on something, go ahead. But I would test the Wink of Stella first before you use it on oxide, because you don't want the colors to react and then wash away from another liquid on there, because remember, distress inks are water reactive. So just be sure of that before you do it. If you have any questions, please be sure that you post them on the website. I hope that this was helpful and that you enjoy your card. Thanks for taking the class.